Hello everybody, wee Paddy from across the Shuck, and this is a nice wee video. This is a nice chilled, relaxed wee video. These are knives that are in our wee pass around group, which as you know is myself, Slick Slicers and UK Legal Carry. Now, two of these are from Slick Slicers and one is from UK Legal Carry. There was two from him, but I done a trade for his other one, which you will see. It's a traditional pocket knife. I traded one of my Benchmates for, so I'll do a video on that separate. This is just a quick look at some of the knives they sent me in the pass around, and I've got a bit behind, so I'm doing three together. But it's actually quite nice. It worked out good. Because what these are all non-locking knives. The other two boys tend to prefer just solely non-locking knives. Now, they do have locking knives, but they don't tend to show them on the channel. So these are non-locking knives. This one's a detent lock. Or it's not a lock, I should say. It's just a detent it works on, which is just a little ball bearing that goes into a little hole and it holds it there, and there's pressure on it to stop it moving. So that's what that is. This is just a traditional back lock, and this is solely friction. So three nice knives. Let's sort of break them down. I'll put them up here and we'll start with one and we'll work through just quickly through just to see. Now this one I'm dying to see the weight on. I'm going to bring the scale in a wee bit here. We'll see, so you can see it. Okay, you can see that. So we are in, oh gosh, I can't see myself now. Grams. Let's see what it is in grams. So that's 54 grams. And let's go to ounces. And in ounces, it's 1.9 ounces. So that's a fairly light knife. Now these are steel letters. I don't believe they're titanium. No, I'm sure they're steel, and it's a steel blade, but very, very thin. Very, very thin knife. And let me just see, we'll open this out. It's a nail nick, as you can see there, and then you'll get you can hear that. It's just a little detent ball that goes into a hole. But look how thin that is. That is so thin. I'm just going to give you a quick measurement of it, just to let you see. It is about, let me get this up here so you can see better. It is about, it's just, where am I? There. So it's just over well, it's about half an inch across of the blade. Half an inch across, and the blade length is about 68 millimeters, which is about 2 3/4 inches, and an overall length of 7 inches, which is just under 18 centimeters. So a lovely little small knife. Look how thin it is. Now, the only downside that I can find with this knife, because other than that, it's perfectly made, there's nothing wrong with it whatsoever, is it's only got a blade down, or a tip down I should say. God, that was hard to find. It's a tip down pocket clip, but I mean, it's such a small wee knife. You'd be putting this in your shirt pocket or in your jacket pocket. This is a proper Sunday knife, or if you work in an office and you don't want to scare anybody, this is a tiny wee knife. But in saying that, what a useful little knife. It really is a useful knife. It's a nice edge on it. And it's got IBS washers in there. Isn't that hard to believe? Now it's CRKT, so it's going to be at CR13. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. And for a small little letter opener, that's what this is, a little letter opener. Or to eat your dinner, a lovely little knife to eat your dinner at work, or a steak if you're out for a meal at night. Really lovely. With the detent, all you got to do is push it. It breaks the detent. It's not very strong, but that is centered right down the middle. Isn't that just lovely? So it's under 2 ounces. Just absolutely beautiful, but it actually doesn't feel like a cheap knife. This is carbon fibre. Looks really well. I'm not even sure if it's real carbon fibre or a laminate on top of it, but it's flow through. Perfectly centered, really nice deep carry clip, so it'll go in your shirt pocket, go in your coat pocket. Nobody would ever know there's a knife in there. It is just beautiful, nicely made. All the edges are fine. I mean, it's not as if you can get a big grip on this. This is a wee knife, you'll hold it like that. You know, it's nearly a pen grip. It is just a wee knife you'll just hold nicely, or like that. That's probably the best way of holding this wee knife. But there's nothing to stop it doing a day's work in an average man in a suit that would use in an office. So that's the CRKT CO. Now, I believe, now this is from Heine Haynes, this one, because it's a nail nick. They do the one that is, that's got a lock on it. I think it's a liner lock, I'm not sure, or a frame lock. But now, this one's from Heine Haynes, and it has the nail nick, so it's non-locking for us weird people over in the UK that are not allowed knives, because we're not good enough for knives. So, lovely knife, really nice to have a look at that. I've looked at it so many times, but not bought it. Now, this next knife is, for me, this is the pick of the three. This is a Puma IP Armenio Ambonia. I have no idea whether that's pronounced right or not. I believe Puma's a Spanish company, but this is a beautiful little, this is a burlwood type of a handle on it, wooden handle. It is just stunning, and they have done some little, I think they could have done that the whole way up, but they didn't. They just left it there. But it's really nice, lovely little, beautiful little leather thong that's Slick Slicers has put on that, Eric, and absolutely beautiful. There's a little badge there. You can see that, a little Puma badge. And again, very, very thin. Nice detail, nice strength. And a nice firm clip into place. The perfect little pocket knife. And again, this is another one if you're wearing a suit, or you're somewhere that you don't want to frighten anyone, or you're out eating your dinner. What a lovely knife to take out to eat your steak. Isn't it just beautiful? I'm trying to get this background. Look how well that is finished on the back. That is a lovely, lovely knife. A really nice thing. It feels lovely. This wood feels really lovely in the hand. And again, it's not hard to break it, but it's firm. It's not easily. If you were going on a traditional, I suppose that would be a 5, 4.5, 5. So it's strong enough for a pen knife. But I think it's a lovely looking, very simple design. Just a nice looking knife. Clean in the inside. Just a lovely little wooden knife. And more in the traditional style of a knife rather than the CEO here is like the modern. But they're both about the same length. Just the CEO's a little bit longer. I'll give you a weight on this one. Let's see what the weight is on this one. And this will be ounces this time. And ounces, 2 ounces. 2 ounces. So, I mean, absolutely no weight whatsoever. Again, just a great little knife. That burlwood is absolutely stunning. I've fallen in love for this, and I really do. Out of the 3 knives here, this is the one that I'd want to pick up. Really do like that knife. Look at the little pivot on there. Isn't that lovely? It really is. Now, I think he must have dropped. There's a wee bit of damage in the wood here. Now, it might have come with it, but to me, that's character. It really is just so nicely made. This is not one for taking apart. This is pinned, whereas this one here is just a typical Torx, and it'll come apart, no problem. Now, the last one is the friction folder, and it comes in this little case, which is lovely. It can be put on your belt, and I think it can go either way, cross draw, or whatever way you want to carry it. It's quite a nice bit of leather. Pretty firm in there. And this is it. And this is the Tops Tack Raise. How nice. And I think they're saying tack razor because it's like, it's sort of typical of the shape of an old razor, cutthroat razor. It's that shape. But there's a lovely hole here if you wanted to put a lanyard or whatever in there. And this one just breaks. It's literally just the force that you put in that screw will hold this in. And this just buries into the handle. And then you hold it. And it is completely secure. I don't know why they have that up there because it's a waste. They could have had it there, which would have been much better. But when you sneak up on this, then you can use this if you wanted to. But I didn't find that comfortable. I find that really comfortable. Now, there's a hell of a recurve and a tanto. So that probably wouldn't, that's the only thing that puts me off this. I would have rather had like just a simple drop point, because it's not a razor. It's not shaped like a razor. I sort of don't get the point of it. I don't get, other than a novelty. To me, it's not a knife. Although, if you're going to cut string or cord all day long, that's the perfect knife to do it. And get yourself a little rod for sharpening. So, G10, it's grippy. It's really grippy. And when you're holding it back here, this is so secure. Really is secure. You can bounce on that and you're never going to close it on yourself because you've got so much of that under your finger there. Sneaking up, it's nearly not as secure when you sneak up. Now, it'll not close on you, but as you can see, it doesn't take much to push that out. So, this, probably out of the three, this would probably be my least favourite, just simply because, you know, it's neither one thing nor t'other to me. I don't find the purpose in this that I would want to use. I like this type of knife. But this particular one, I'm not over keen on. Just that recurve, I don't see the point in it. But it's 3 ounces, just over 3 ounces, so it's not a heavy knife. It's not going to weigh you down. Let me see the length on it. I'll give you a wee quick measure of the length. The blade is... The cutting edge is just under 3 inches, about 3 1/4 inch blade from tip to toe, and about 7 3/4 inches. Yeah, about 7 3/4, which is 96, 97 centimetre. Oh, not 90, 19.5 centimetres, somewhere around that. So there they are. Would I recommend them? I recommend. This is just a beautiful little gentleman folder. You can't go wrong with that. If you like that type of a knife, that you can't go wrong with that. This, I'm not so sure. For me, it's just not for me. Now, again, if you're going to cut string or something that's going to draw into the centre, this will be perfect. But for cardboard boxes, I'd rather have a straight edge. The Puma is the standout knife. So this is just so nicely done. Even his little lanyard, that really appeals to me. I would love to be able to tie them. That appeals to me. I just think that is one that I would buy out of the three. This, a bit delicate. I don't work in an office or anything, so it's just a little bit delicate for my use. They're all good knives. I mean, fit and finish-wise, there's nothing wrong with them. I couldn't fault either of them. But this, a Puma, is one that I'm going to investigate and find out how much it is and where I can get one. So, thank you very much. You've got 3 different types of non-locking knives that, let's be honest now, non-locking knives are a bit of a thing at the minute. There's so many of them out there that are being sold by mainstream, and it's a great thing to do because they're no more dangerous than a locking knife. I mean, to use. I mean, once you get used, your knife etiquette becomes better when you're used to using a non-locking knife because you don't muck about, you don't take risks, and you become more aware of the tool that's in your hand. And like, a tool can be dangerous to yourselves, never mind other people. It's dangerous to yourself if you're not going to use it right. This is a great way of bringing that back in where, look, our granddads and I don't remember them coming about with cut fingers as much as I do now with a locking knife. So there we go. Just a wee bit more care needed on a non-locking knife. But there are 3 typical of the offerings that are out there at the minute. The detent, the friction, and the backlock. Or not the backlock, the back spring. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you like either one. I would recommend, look, if this is something that you like and you like a bit of a novelty, there's nothing, it's really well made. It's really secure in hand. I don't want to say anything bad about it. These 2, if you work in an office, if you like to take a knife with you when you go to church or meetings or something like that, just to have it with you, even out to dinner, these are perfect because they'll do for cutting your... This is not really what I'd want to pull out and cut my dinner with. So there we go. I'm away. Cup of tea time. Thanks very much for watching. All the best. Paddy's gone. Tea time.